Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be talking about my reading challenges for 2015 and how well I did on them, as well as telling you about my reading challenges for 2016. So in 2015, I gave myself really 3 reading challenges. I wasn't doing videos regularly at the beginning of the year, so I actually did a blog post about my reading challenges, which I will link down in the description. But the first of those was that I wanted to read at least 5 books that were over 700 pages long. And unfortunately, even though I did read a lot of large books in 2015, I only read 3 that were over 700 pages long, so I did not complete that challenge. The 3 books that I did manage to read that were over 700 pages long were the second and third books in the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson and Winter by Marissa Meyer. And this is really a bummer because, like I said, I did read several books that were really large. I read at least 3 or 4 books that were in the 600 page range and another handful that were in the 500 page range. So if I had just lowered that page limit a little bit, I would have gotten there, but I didn't, so I did not complete the challenge. The second challenge that I gave myself was to read 50 books in the year of 2015, and once again, I didn't quite get there. Right now, it is a few days before the end of the year, and I am sitting at 45. I am not extremely happy with that because I do feel like I didn't get to read as much as I wanted to this year and that I had several slumpy times, but 45 is still a really good number and I am not too upset that I didn't complete the challenge. And the third and final challenge that I gave myself in 2015 was my TBR jar challenge, which was where I had a jar full of challenges and I pulled one out and had to complete one every single month. And if you have been following my monthly wrap-ups and TBRs, you will know that I did really well until the last 4 months of the year when I completed 0 of the challenges. So I also did not complete my TBR jar challenge for 2015. So essentially, I did not complete any of the challenges that I gave myself for 2015, which is a bit of a bummer. Honestly, it's mostly because I didn't get as much reading done in 2015 as I really thought I would or as I wanted to. I definitely read a lot more in 2014 than I did in 2015, and that was partially because there were just times when I didn't feel like reading, and there were also times when I was so insanely busy that I just didn't have time to read even if I really wanted to. And I think part of this is because I'm a mood reader. If I'm not in the mood for something, there is no way I will be able to force myself to do it. And a lot of the challenges that I put in the TBR jar or that I set for myself as far as like the over 700 pages, they were too specific and they kind of forced me into certain books that I wasn't necessarily in the mood for. So for my 2016 reading challenges, I decided to paint with broader strokes and to give myself challenges that I can complete over time and that are much broader categories, which will allow me a little bit more leeway as far as my moods. And that means abandoning the monthly TBR jar challenge format. As much as I think it's a really cool idea, it just didn't work out for me all the time, so I don't think I'll be continuing that. I will, however, be attempting to do the book stack challenge in 2016. I'm not making it part of my official 2016 reading challenges, but I do want to at least attempt to continue it. I'm going to get rid of all the books in the stack right now and start fresh, just because I really wasn't in the mood for any of the ones that were already in the stack. And new year, new stack, fresh start. So now on to my actual main reading challenges for 2016, of which there are 5. The first of these is actually a flip-flop of what I gave myself in 2015, and that is that I want to read 7 books that are over 500 pages. I like this one a lot better than the one that I gave myself in 2015 because it will definitely push me toward larger books, but it won't pigeonhole me into very, very large books that are over 700 pages long. And I balanced it out by giving myself a few more books to read to complete the challenge, so I feel like that's fair. Challenge number 2 is that I want to complete / catch up to at least 5 series in 2016. And the catch to this is that I have to read at least 3 books in that series in 2016 for it to count. So for example, if I read the entirety of a trilogy in 2016, that counts, but if I were to complete the Chaos Walking trilogy, of which I've already read The Knife of Never Letting Go, that wouldn't count because that would only be 2 books in the trilogy that I'm reading in 2016. Or I could catch up to the Throne of Glass series, which has 4 books out, as long as I read at least 3 books in that series in 2016 and I catch up to the series, it counts. It sounds a little complicated, but I promise it's not. Challenge number 3 is that I want to get my TBR down to 35% of my library. Right now my TBR is sitting around 45 or 46% of my library, and I would like to get that down a little bit by the end of 2016. Challenge number 4 is to finish/catch up to 5 comic or manga series. Over the past few months, I have been really getting into comics and wanting to get into manga, so this challenge is really just an added push for me to catch up to or complete at least 5 series. It doesn't matter which ones. There's no stipulation as to how many volumes I have to read. It's just I need to finish or catch up to at least 5. Wait, I take that back. There is a stipulation. I have to start it in 2016 and catch up to it / finish it in 2016. So like, I'm not counting Saga because I'm already 3 volumes into it and it is 6 volumes long, or probably will be by the end of 2016. So yeah, I have to start it in 2016, but that's the only stipulation. I mean, Lumberjanes only has 1 volume out, I think, so far. So, I mean, I guess that could also count. And finally, challenge number 5, the last challenge, is to read 50 books. It's the same challenge I gave myself this year. Didn't complete it this year, but honestly, I think it will be a little bit easier given that I will be reading a lot of comics and manga, and those take less time to get through. So I think that 50 is a pretty reasonable and doable challenge, and I hope to complete it in 2016. So that's my wrap up for my 2015 challenges and my introduction of my 2016 challenges. I think that I gave myself some pretty doable challenges, but also slightly challenging because they're challenges. Let me know down in the comments what reading challenges you're giving yourself in 2016. I would love to hear what they are. As always, I will leave links down in the description to my blog, Twitter, and Goodreads. Please add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends with all of you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!